So hey, what's up internet? Now, I'm not a big internet personality. I'm just a normal guy and I live a pretty normal life. But recently there's this issue that's come up and it's really horrible. I can't believe that this happened and the media and game journalism aren't really looking into it that much and the public isn't really talking about it, but it's so horrible. I need to use my reach as just a normal person, whatever that is, to make sure that the public use all the reach I can to make sure as many people I can tell know about this. Now, the thing in particular that's happened is the game Gigantic recently completely closed its servers, and that was because of its parent company Perfect World Entertainment. And they've had a pretty dodgy 2018 to say the least. But to explain the whole story, we need to look at their last acquisition before Gigantic. Now, this was a company called Runic Games. Runic Games made the series Torchlight. They made Hob, like kind of a smaller game. That's the game I'm using for gameplay for this video, actually. But they were a smaller studio. People really liked them. And then Perfect World Entertainment bought them. And after buying them, the company just shuts them down completely and entirely and forces the company to disband. Nothing was produced under Perfect World's order. They just bought the company and disbanded it completely. It's, there is no more Runic Games, it's just gone. For no reason. So that happened, and then after that, they bought Motiga. Now, at the time, Motiga was kind of a struggling studio, and they had one project. They had Gigantic. Gigantic was very much a passion project, and they did find release, but they were struggling a bit. And then Perfect World Entertainment came in, and they bought the studio out, and then just immediately, instantly, they fire everyone except for a skeleton crew working on the game. And Gigantic actually stayed afloat for quite a bit after this happening. But just as of today, recording this video, they had to ultimately close their studios completely. They really tried, but they just couldn't. They couldn't keep up with the damage that Perfect World Entertainment had done to them. Now, all of this is absolutely devastating for everyone involved, but somehow the story manages to get even worse. Because Perfect World Entertainment did a press release on their actions regarding Runic Games. Basically, they were asked along the lines of, hey, why did you do that? And they said that it was more based, that they want Perfect World Entertainment as a company to be more based around multiplayer games. Now, that's absolutely ridiculous for two reasons. Firstly, if that was true, they could have just ignored Runic Games and like acquired a multiplayer studio instead. And the other reason, speaking of which, is that if that was true, they would have tried to keep Gigantic afloat instead of just destroying it. No press release was made or motives released regarding their actions regarding Gigantic, but even if they did, just given the Runic Games press conference, it wouldn't be a feasible source of information. And it's just we can't do anything about this. It's all already happened, but we can't. The best we can do at this point is to not let this happen again. This is something that we need to look at and say, okay guys, this can never happen again. We need this to be the absolute, like, Perfect World Entertainment needs to be the last Perfect World Entertainment. And there's two possible ways we can achieve that. Firstly, none of us can work with this company. It just like it's an absolute no-go. And I know a lot of people watching this video have no say in the gaming industry right now, but that doesn't mean that they can't have someday. I know a lot of people personally that don't have that aren't in the gaming industry right now, but they could make their way into the gaming industry in time. And I know a lot of people that are artists that could someday get a commission from Perfect World Entertainment. And if this happens, you have to say no. This is just that they take it. They've been taking advantage of people, and the easiest way to the easiest way to not have them beat us at their game is to just not play. The other thing that we can do regarding this is we need to is just, and this goes for everyone, whether you're in the gaming industry at any point or not, you need to always research your business partners. If Perfect World Entertainment tried to do this to a third company and they researched, they would find hopefully this video and other videos like it explaining what they've done to other companies, and they'd ultimately not go through with the deal. And it doesn't even apply to just Perfect World Entertainment. If your own industry has an example of a company like Perfect World Entertainment, this could be that a lot of smaller businesses could be saved by just researching companies. That's the big general takeaway from this, is that do not do business with another person until you've researched them very thoroughly. Better Business Bureau is great for this, but I personally think the greatest resource on a company you're about to do business with is an ex-employee of them. But just please look into your companies. For a few closing thoughts, I'd like to address everyone that's been a part of or affected by the recent Perfect World Entertainment attacks. To the alumni of Motiga, I am extremely proud of you. I've been following your game since it was an open beta Xbox exclusive. I've watched each and every one of you fight a constant uphill battle. Just with very few funds, just making this game work just out of passion alone, and you did. You released a game, and just you should be so proud of that. You had a vision, and you made it, and you just created, and you made it something real. And nobody could have seen what Perfect World Entertainment would do to you coming. And honestly, I'm heartbroken for you, but I'm also extremely proud of you. To the workers of Runic Games, I've honestly been loving Hob since I got it for Christmas, and I think you guys have you've also been amazing. My heart breaks for you, and I hope that breaks for you as well. And I hope that each and every one of you stay in the gaming, you get into a nice other studio, and you keep working on amazing games. I really think all of you can do it. To the workers of Perfect World Entertainment, I hope you go bankrupt one day. That's such an easy threat to make out of anger and hatred, but I have a logical reason for my thoughts. I want you to go bankrupt so that you never ruin another game company's hard work ever again. Like I said, we cannot have this happen again. We cannot have another Gigantic. We cannot have another Perfect World. We cannot have another Perfect World Entertainment. We cannot have another Runic Games. This is something that it's one and done. This cannot be something that occurs again in the gaming industry, or any industry for that sake. I need you to I want this to just be done with. The other reason is I want you to understand the emotion and feeling behind what happens when your hard work gets destroyed. I want you to understand. I want something to click when your game company shuts down. I want you to just sit there with all your hard work gone and think and realize that you did this to Motiga and you did this to Runic Games for fun. However, that's my 2 cents, and I am running out of time. Thank you so much for watching my video so far. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away from this. And I will be leaving links to 2 other videos on the topic that I've been using as my primary sources. But yeah, if you liked it, please tell me. Leave a like, comment on it. I'd love to do another video on a more lighthearted subject matter, like a show review or a guide for another game or something, but that's all I've got time for now. Goodbye.